I had a question come in this week and I thought it was such a great question that I wanted to make a video and speak into it. I think it's going to shed some light on something that a lot of people will relate to. So this question came from Carly, and I'll just read what she says. She says, "Hi Shane, I noticed that in the past I have a tendency to choose relationships that are bad for me. I usually go for the person who, if I'm honest with myself, I know will hurt me." She says, "I can even see instances where I had the opportunity to make a better choice and I still did the same thing. And I was wondering if you could shed some light on this. Why do I choose relationships that I know in the long run are going to hurt me? And how can I learn to make better choices?" So I thought this was such an excellent question because I think it speaks into something that a lot of us will relate to. And in this video, I'm going to talk about what a trauma bond is, and if you realize that you have that going on, what you need to do about it. So let's talk about a trauma bond. What is it? Well, a trauma bond is when you're attracted to someone because you recognize something in them that relates to some trauma of your past. You recognize something in that person, something they do or say, or their attitude or their way of being, or the way they look, or the way they make you feel, that relates to some trauma in your past, from some past relationship. A good example of this might be if you have an ex who really screwed you over or broke your heart in some way, and then you are attracted to people who look like that person or have a similar personality or demeanor to that person, that you're attracted to that. And what it is it's like this feeling that if I could get somebody like that person to love me, if I could get somebody like that person to desire me or want to be with me or give me the love that I didn't get then, it will make up for that. And it could be an ex. More often, our trauma bonds are usually related to our parents or parental figures from childhood that when we didn't get the love we felt like we deserved then. And then we project that into our relationships as adults. So what happens is when you're carrying this lack of validation, lack of being seen or heard or recognized or loved or appreciated. And often even from childhood, you'll be carrying these things. And when you're carrying these feelings, this lack of being worthy, this lack of being validated, this lack of being enough for somebody, what happens is we start to project that into our relationships. So we start to find people who give us those same feelings that we got from our parents or those same feelings that we got from that ex who broke our heart. And we think like, this is my chance to get a do-over. This is my chance to get all the love. This is my chance to prove myself as worthy of this person. And if I can do that, I'll heal all the trauma of the past. I'll heal all the trauma that I went through. The problem with this is that what you do is you actually seek out situations that reflect that trauma. You seek out qualities in those people that are the same qualities of the people who hurt you. So while it's kind of an attempt on your part to heal the past or to let go of the past or to overcome the past, while it's you attempting to do that, it's a misguided attempt. Because what happens is you seek out situations that rather than heal the pain of the past, they're actually going to reinforce it. They're actually going to revalidate it. It's going to create another experience like the ones from the past. That lack of worth, that lack of recognition, that lack of appreciation, that lack of validation. And so what starts to happen is you have more and more and more of these relationships. And if you've been doing this 10, 20, 30 years, it starts to really compound and you start to have a lot of experiences that reinforce all those limiting beliefs and limiting ideas about love and relationship. And so it becomes so concrete and it can be really difficult to break free of after you've been doing this for a long time. So here's what you do in a situation like this. The first thing you have to do is recognize that you can never prove yourself to anyone enough to make yourself feel worthy unless you do it for yourself. So another way of saying that is the only person you ever need to prove yourself to is you. If you can feel worthy enough in yourself, if you can somehow, and there are many ways to do this, and this is something we work on in our courses, but if you can somehow give yourself the validation that you didn't get when you were younger, or that you didn't get from that ex, or that you didn't get from your parents. If you can somehow provide that for yourself, if you can get to a place where you are enough for yourself, regardless of how anyone else feels about you, then you free yourself from this need to prove yourself to other people. You free yourself from this need to get anyone else's validation. When you get to that place, and I see this time and time again with our clients, and I've seen it in myself, my wife will say the same thing, she saw it in herself. What starts to happen when you get to that place is those people that would activate that trauma bond in you, there's nothing there to activate anymore. And you start to look at those people and you start to be like, wow, like I cannot imagine what I ever saw in a person like that. It actually becomes a turnoff. It actually becomes unattractive, that way of, that demeanor, that attitude, that way of being, that way of treating people, that way of pulling out of a relationship and making you sweat, and like all those manipulative things that activate the trauma in us. When we validate ourselves, when we get the worthiness and the validation from ourselves, we lose attraction to those type of people and those type of situations. So once you do that, you start to become attracted to a whole new type of person. You start to be attracted to kindness, to empathy, to compassion, to honesty. And you start to attract whole different kinds of people into your life as well. And I'd like to share with you a bit about Crash Course in Love. It's our breakthrough course coming up in January 18th. And it is a profound 4-week exploration of worthiness and clarity. And it's designed to uncover and blow to pieces all the limiting beliefs and assumptions about love and attraction to the wrong kinds of things, the wrong kinds of situations, to help you clarify what you truly deserve and what you're actually looking for in a relationship. Because we found that most people don't really know what they're looking for. Most people are just kind of taking what they can get and doing their best with it, but it's never really fulfilling. And this course is designed to change all of that. If you register before January 1st, you can save almost $300 on the price of registration. You can go to the link in our bio or go to myconsciousrelationship.com and you can register there. Again, sign up before January 1st. You'll save almost $300 on the price of registration. Thanks so much for watching today. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I see you in a Crash Course in Love.